Hi everyone, how are you? Today I would like to show you what is the secret of painting gold on a dark fabric. And in particular, I'm using this color, Pibeo Seta color. This is color number 45 and it's a shimmer opaque gold. And I'm painting it on a blue surface or a blue fabric. This is not a 100% cotton fabric. I don't know the percentage right now, but I painted it last year with the marker. The marker was very light, and after several washes, probably 50, 60 washes or even more, the color faded a little bit. And this is something that could happen if you have a high percentage of polyester, or in this case it's also elastic fabric, so your fabric paint might not stay for a long time. And this is not because the paint is not good, because this is one of the best paints you will ever find on the market, but it's because the fabric is not 100% cotton, and so the plastic and plastic don't go together, and so they don't stay on the fabric for a very long time. Anyway, I painted this last year, and this year I just wanted to repaint on top of it, just to refresh the design. As you can see, it's very simple. It's 4 hearts and then a few stars. So I've already done 2 hearts, and what I wanted to show you is how usually you will see a lot of videos about painting on fabric, and especially painting on dark fabric or any colored fabric, and the suggestion is that you put basically a white layer. So you would put something like this before you actually paint on gold, on your regular color. This would normally apply for the majority of colors. However, based on my experience with silver and with gold, it really depends on what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve an extremely light silver and an extremely light gold, then it's okay to do a layer or two of white color first. In that case, what I would do a layer of color white, then I would iron it, so I would heat set it, and then I would paint the silver or the gold on top, and then heat set it again. This will help the color to stay for a longer time. I learned with experience that it is better to heat set the white first and then to proceed and put the color on top. It's a trick that I didn't know, and it's something that I've learned recently, and I feel it's something that really works. However, for this specific case, I really want to achieve a gold that is has like a dark undertone. And so in this case, I think, in my opinion, to achieve this type of gold, it's better not to put the white underneath. So I'm just gonna show you how it's gonna look like if you just paint directly on the blue fabric. So I always shake the bottle of gold, and then, since it's a quick painting, I'm not going to transfer the color on a palette. I'm just going to use the tap as my palette. And then I start painting directly on the design. So mind you, there is a little bit of the old design at the bottom, which creates a lighter layer than the original blue. However, as you can see, the color stands out already really well. And this is why I think it's not necessary to put the white underneath. So you can see that the color gold stands out really well. And then as you paint, and this is acrylic paint which dries very quickly, you see that as it dries, the blue absorbs a bit of the pigment, of the gold pigment, but it doesn't absorb it in a way that it basically takes down the pigment completely. So as you see this drying, you still see the gold really being bold against the blue of the fabric. So this is not going to be extremely precise because I just wanted to show you live how it looks like and give you this explanation, which I think you won't find it anywhere. And this is also based on a recent experiment that I did where I put the white underneath and it didn't really look like I wanted it to look. So I had to come up with another solution. So as you can see, the gold is pretty good, right? This is the one that dried out the most. And you can see that it's slightly darker than this, but it's still really gold. I'll continue. And yeah, this is what I wanted to show you in terms of putting gold against a dark color. And this applies to blue, it applies to black, or it applies to like a dark green, for example, or a really dark gray, these type of colors, or brown. Golden brown are great. So in my opinion, this is already a really good color. For example, this one is one layer of gold. If you really wanted it to be extremely gold, you can put a second layer. However, if you want to do that, this is my other tip, don't do it right away, but wait for the color to be completely dry before you do the second layer. Because as the color dries, it is absorbed by the fabric, so you have a better understanding of how the actual color looks like when it's completely dried, and then you will know how much color to put on top of the first layer. And so I'm just going to complete this one and show you how it looks like with one layer. I think it's coming out really nice. I know maybe this could be a quick tip and probably a lot of you already know, but I always I'm trying to put stuff that I haven't found anywhere, and I'm finding out as I paint more and more on fabrics. And I know that these tips really depend also on the type of fabric you use. If you have something that is 100% cotton, you might get a different result. Okay, so this is a little bit weird shaped heart, but this is also why I like handmade, because it doesn't look perfect, it looks handmade. Okay, so let me close because I don't want the paint to dry out. And this is how it looks. Let me come closer. I think it's a great result already. As I said, I'm not going to do another layer. I think this looks nice already like this. Once it's fully dried, so I'll wait for sure at least a couple of hours. Ideally, you can, if you're not in a rush, you can wait 24 hours. So I will wait for sure 24 hours and then I will heat set this with an iron. I put parchment paper between the iron and the fabric, just in case. And then I'm gonna iron it for a couple of minutes. And then this is ready to be worn again and washed for many, many times to come. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And if you liked it, please let me know. If you didn't like it, please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to give additional feedback. And see you next time. Ciao.